Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome to Good Goal or Bad Defending Premier League edition, where I like to break down goals, ones that people score for and against their teams, so they can use some of my brilliant wisdom of over 20 years coaching all over the world to make themselves either a better football player or a better coach. Here we are, we're on a bit of a counter-attack coming down here, and to be fair, one of those things, when you're in transition and people are scoring on you, a lot of it just comes down to pace and power of the player. If they're bigger and stronger than you, sometimes there's not much you can do. The mistake would have been back further on in the play, and there's nothing you can do, just run with the player at that point. And that's what seems to be happening right here as running back. There you go, there's a bit of a sort of scrap, and it's a little bit, got around the player. But also, look at these players here. I've talked about this quite often as well. Defensive players, especially in the middle of the park, they don't ever bother to look around them anymore. I don't know what's happened in the Premier League and why everyone's so bad at football nowadays, but none of these defenders actually look around to make, oh, look, he's just checked. He's had a little scan. Good job, mate. He's had a little bit of a look to actually do anything with these players. Now he's made a run across the front of him. And of course, this guy's beating this man here quite convincingly. And it's a little bit of a tap in. This guy here should have done much better. He only had one person to mark. He looked at him. I'm shocked that he did. Only a little bit of a look. Put his arm out to look at him. And the next thing you know is the ball's in the back of the net. Overall, not great defending at all. But I just can't stand it when people are running that long with a player and they make a little a 2-yard run in front of him and he's not expecting that. He should be expecting it the whole way. He knows the defender wants to get in front of him and yet he allows him to do it. But let's get on to the next goal. There's not really much you can really talk about there because at the end of the day, as I say, it's on transition, it's going through, and we've got better breakdowns to get on with. Let's go. Well, this starts from a long ball straight up here to the little striker we do. Gets a bit of control on the ball and ready to go. But again, you can see how many players for Burnley have committed to the attack. I know they're at home and they're trying to push, but you just can't really afford to do that. You can't be 1v1 at the back here. You just can't. That ends up happening. These two defenders trying to hold up the play as much as they can. He's screaming for the ball, absolutely screaming for it, and he does get it here. But these two defenders are both running towards the ball, but you can see there's nobody else on the field. They're just caught short. The defensive midfield has gone too far. The left and right back has pushed up the field, and they're all over the place. I mean, that just shouldn't be happening in the Premier League, but it is. This guy, I quite like what he's done there. If you noticed his run, one of the most important ways to create space on a field is stand still. And he does just that. He makes his pass, and everyone tells you not to stand and watch your pass. Sometimes stand and watch your pass. Because what happens when he does that is this defender carries on running to back his mate up, which he should, but he opens up the space for himself because he doesn't continue his run. If he continued his run, he would have been right up here with this guy here, and he wouldn't have been able to receive the pass that he's about to. As we watch it move it forward, look, he's slowing it down. Oh, here comes the cavalry. Eventually somebody is coming back to help. He's a full sprint, this guy. Think about that. Full sprint, and he's still not back quick enough. There we go. Bosch loads it over, and it's in a... This is a cute little finish, actually. I got to give him some credit here. The keeper does well. I like the fact the keeper stays on his line and comes out at the very last minute, so he doesn't get beaten early, which you see a lot of keepers do nowadays. They rush out too early, and they just get beaten. He just sits him down and flicks it over his head. Does a great job with the finish. Well done, wee man. Let's check out the next goal because there's a lot more coming. Okay, I'm starting this one here. This is one of my favourite goals, I think, ever. You'll see why in a minute. I think it's funny. But all of a sudden, it was from a corner, a bit of a bundle. Ball goes out, gets recycled, goes down to the little spot here, and it comes back across. But this is some of the things I want you to watch. Burnley, to their credit, do quite well. All right, let's have a little watch. Bosch, ball comes out. There. He's in acres of space. But this man is sprinting fantastically trying to close him down. Well done. Normally, pretty much for every goal I've been watching so far this season, people stand there. I mean, genuinely stand there and watch. They don't actually put pressure on the ball. He's putting pressure on the ball. I like it. Well done. So he starts putting pressure on the ball. His mate comes and backs him up, and they block the shot. This is why I like this goal, because it's boof on the keeper. Let's just watch that a second. Because as that goes to get blocked, the keeper's looking for it. The keeper's like, oh, oof, no, not that one. Another great block shot. Keeps bouncing. And this is where they fall unlucky. 2 block shots. Drops to the edge of the 18-yard box. And the next thing you know, bang, he scores a worldie. I like that, though. One shot block, two shot block, third shot smacks it into the top corner. Keeper just stands there, but there's not much he can do. Worldy goal, well done. But I actually like the defensive tenacity, if we can use that word, of Burnley trying to get out, trying to smother the ball, trying to stop it, and eventually they just ran out of people and bodies to throw on the line, and Tottenham got their reward. Let's get on to the next goal. You've also seen a big influx this season of people trying to play the ball out the back. Now, this is just bad coaching, and I'll tell you why. There's space when about, I'd say, 2004, 2006, where a lot of coaches that weren't good enough were trying to teach their players to play the ball out of the back and trying to, build play and do certain things. And you can see right here, that's the only pass this guy's got here. Okay, so this guy's stepping onto it, can take the ball forward. That's pretty much it. He gets caught, watch what happens. Oh, look, he delays too long. And as you see that delay, what ends up happening is that window gets shot. He wants to play the ball here for that guy. That's all he's got. And he's cornered, right? And one of the reasons I'm saying is poorly coached is because if you look at this guy's shoulders and his head is pointing that way, that's really the only way he can pass the football, because he hasn't been coached correctly with his shoulders there and his head not facing that way, but facing inwards, and he's not doing it properly. So if he was, he could have run the ball this way. He doesn't understand why he's in trouble. He's been shut down and closed off, and there's not an out ball for him. Absolutely not an out ball for him. Now also, as much as I'm saying I'd have the ball going here, that's because this guy's making a terrible, absolutely terrible mistake. What he should be doing is getting wide and getting deep. That's where he should be, wide and deep, down here in this space to receive that ball so he can get rid of it. He's not in the right location. He can't make a pass. They don't understand it, but they're trying to play a game that they can't play, and they end up getting caught out. And because they got caught out, look, Bosch, a little bit of a ricochet, touch, all of a sudden, he's miles out of position. I don't know where he's running to be honest. I don't know why he's running down the field like that. Number 5 running down the field like he's a winger. Just awful football. Awful. Goes across. I think this is Mason Mount nowadays. I think that is number 10 for Tottenham. He'll actually do quite well because the pocket of space he's got, he can actually do some dangerous. Now, I don't like him because he's a good-looking prick, but there we go. He picks up the ball, acres of space. I mean, acres. You've seen the tackle was a mistake here. You've seen the space available. You've seen the ball guy receive the ball. And all that hard work, well done, this guy's trying to close him down. All that hard work they were doing at block shots a minute ago in the box, they're not doing now. And then the next thing you know, the ball's in the corner. There we go. Another goal to the Tottenham. Okay, so in my rules in the Premier League, when some idiot sticks his hand up for no reason, generally his team is going to get scored on. I mean, it's two things. One, he's not doing his job and marking a player. Two, he's crying to the ref because he's a little wee baby and he doesn't really know what he's doing. Here we are on transition. The first thing is, there's two most dangerous things. The ball and the space in behind. There's too much space in behind, so you've got to start dropping if you can't get to the ball. You can't get to the ball, and neither can you, So you all need to start dropping as fast as you can into that space. See what happens. It's too late. Do you see he's hesitated on that run? It's too late. Bosh. All of a sudden now they have to run extra hard. In they go in behind. The other problem you've got is these guys here. There's no one in this pocket here. No one in their midfield is realising there's a pocket opening up here. Their line is kind of here, and the rest of their team is over here in this side over here. Let's just draw that out a little bit better so we can actually earmark it. There's the line there. There's the rest of their players there. And there is the open space. Look at all that space there when there isn't a single Burnley player. And as we go forward, bump, bump, bump. Look, two people are focused on the ball. No one's looking. This is the problem when you're a midfielder as well. They're not looking around properly and noticing how free Son is here running into the top of the box. It's not just Son. They've got 3 players. 3, well, technically 4. And there's no Burnley player between them. Look at that. Running towards the top of the box. They're queuing up to smash the ball in the goal. It's Son, and he does it with ease. There we go. It's that simple. It's that simple. Let's have a look at the next goal. Okay, as we can see, he's picked up the ball here. He's had a little pass from this little chap. He's looking for another ball back. But look at the acres of space he's got in front of him. There isn't a single Burnley player anywhere near him. Song's asking for the ball in behind. And this is a quality pass. He gets it. There it is. Look how much time he's got. Bosh. He can have a little think about it, a little look up. The defenders are on the run backwards. And he slips it between 2 players. Bends it around that last one. Perfectly for Son. And he slots it into the net box. There we go. Quality goal. But be honest, Burnley are giving it to him. There's so much space in that midfield. You could build a swimming pool in the middle of it. I mean, that's just overall bad. It's just... They do so well in like some defensive positions as well, but they're just so open in certain areas. And I'd like to say Tottenham are doing well and carving them open. They're playing some good football, the Spurs are. But I think they'll Spurs it up and finish 19th in the season. Not 19th, you know what I mean? They'll mess it up because that's what they do. One last consolidation goal from the Burnley here. Actually, look, watch this. They've got so much passing. Boom, in they come, little knock in. Keeping it going. Okay, so this is one thing if you're a defender and you want to notice this. As soon as he steps up, all right, it makes this space in behind. Can you see that space? Well, because he's moved forward, there's a little gap, and that gap is the one you exploit. That's where you put the ball because he stepped up. All right, boom, and they do. See, look, now you can make the run in behind because he stepped forward, didn't win the ball. Goes for the ball. Unfortunately, he's not a very good striker, but he does manage to squeeze it into the goal, somehow slips in, bounces off another player, and goes in and makes it 5-2. Overall, 7 goals in the game. Spurs are fun to watch, and I'll see you next time, guys. Take care.